Ladies and gentlemen, loneliness is not the absence of people, it's the absence of shared purpose. When we think of loneliness, we often imagine someone sitting alone in a quiet room, away from others, disconnected from the world. But loneliness isn't always about being physically alone. You can be in a room full of people, even surrounded by family, co-workers, or classmates, and still feel deeply alone. Why does that happen? It's because true connection doesn't come from the presence of people. It comes from a shared sense of meaning, of purpose, of walking together towards something greater. Many people live busy lives, constantly talking to others, scrolling through social media, going to parties, working with teams, yet deep down, they feel empty. That emptiness is not caused by being around too few people. It's caused by being around people with whom they share nothing truly meaningful. There's no deeper bond, no shared dream, no common ground that pulls them forward together. It's like walking side by side with strangers who are all heading in different directions. Purpose creates connection. When people work together toward a common goal, even if they are different in age, background, or language, something powerful happens. They begin to understand each other, support each other, and grow together. That shared mission creates a strong bond that mere social contact cannot give. A soldier on the battlefield may not know the man fighting next to him very well, but their shared purpose brings a loyalty and connection stronger than words. A group of volunteers helping rebuild a home after a disaster may not have met before, but as they work side by side, they form a real sense of friendship, even family. That's because they are united by something bigger than themselves. On the other hand, you could live in a big family, have thousands of followers online, or work in a crowded office and still feel like no one truly sees you. No one understands your pain, your dreams, or your journey. That's not a lack of people, it's a lack of purpose shared with those people. The relationships are shallow, based only on duty, convenience, or appearance, but not on anything lasting or meaningful. Loneliness is not healed by just having people around. It is healed when we find people who walk the same path, who share our values, who believe in the same vision we are chasing. Imagine two men climbing a mountain together. They might not speak much, but the fact that they are struggling up the same hill, sweating through the same challenges, and encouraging each other to reach the top, that creates a bond. A man who climbs alone, even if he sees others on the same mountain, but never walks with them or helps them, he may reach the top, but he will feel alone. It's not just about being on the same path. It's about choosing to walk that path together. So how do we overcome loneliness in this deeper sense? We begin by finding purpose. Not just any purpose, but a meaningful one. When you know who you are and why you are here, you begin to see others differently. You begin to look for people not just to pass time with, but to build something with. You become someone who lives with intention, and that attracts people who are also living with direction. Relationships built on shared goals are stronger than those built on comfort or entertainment. This also means that if you feel lonely, the answer is not always to add more people to your life. The answer is often to first ask, what am I living for? Because people who live for nothing often connect with others who are also wandering. But when you live with purpose, your path begins to cross with others who are going in the same direction. You begin to form connections not just from the heart, but from shared action. Some people struggle with loneliness because they wait for others to find them, understand them, or fix their emptiness. But healing often begins when we become what we are waiting for. Instead of waiting for a friend, be one. Instead of searching for someone who shares your dream, speak your dream out loud. Let it be known, join a cause. Help someone be a light, and in doing so, others who are also walking alone will see your light and be drawn to it. You see, purpose not only gives meaning to your own life, it gives people a reason to walk with you. Without purpose, your life may feel like a quiet road with no direction, and few people want to walk a road that leads nowhere. But when your life has purpose, it becomes like a map, a story, an invitation. Others can look at it and say, I want to go there too. Even friendships that were once shallow can grow deeper when purpose enters the picture. Maybe you and your friend just used to hang out for fun, but when you both discover something you care about, maybe helping others, building a project, supporting a community, your bond becomes deeper. You don't just enjoy each other's company, you push each other forward. That's the kind of connection that fills the soul. That's the kind that drives away loneliness. So if you're feeling alone, don't only look at who is or isn't in your life. Look at what your life is about. Ask yourself, what am I building? Who am I becoming? What do I want to give to this world? And then begin to walk in that direction. Along the way, you'll meet others, not everyone, but a few who are also seeking something deeper. And those are the ones who will walk with you. Those are the ones who will make you feel seen, heard, and valued. To be surrounded by people but still feel alone is one of the greatest pains a person can carry. But the cure isn't just company, it's connection. And connection is born from purpose. So don't just look for people. Look for meaning. Build something that matters, and then share that journey. Because the most powerful friendships are not built face to face, but side by side, walking in the same direction. Friendship is not about finding people, it's about becoming someone worth connecting with. Many people spend their lives searching for the right friends. They wait for someone kind, loyal, and understanding to walk into their lives. They say, if only I had good friends, I would be happier. They think friendship is something that just happens, like a lucky moment. But friendship doesn't work like that. It's not something you find out there. It starts with who you are inside. You see, most of us look outward. We blame others for not showing up, for not being loyal, for not understanding us. But very few people stop and ask, am I the kind of person others want to connect with? That's a powerful question, because the truth is, people are naturally drawn to people who bring value into their lives. Not money or gifts, but value in the form of honesty, kindness, wisdom, peace, and purpose. When someone is growing, when they are kind, when they listen well, when they show respect, they attract good people. Not by chasing them, but by being themselves. Think about the people you like being around. Why do you enjoy their company? Maybe they are calm and don't judge. Maybe they make you feel heard. Maybe they help you see your problems clearly. Maybe they lift your mood when you're low. Whatever the reason, you are drawn to something inside them. Now turn the mirror around and ask, do you offer those same things to others? If you want honest friends, be an honest person. If you want people who stay in hard times, be someone who doesn't run away when things get tough. If you want friends who support your dreams, be someone who encourages others. Friendship is like a garden. You cannot harvest what you don't plant. If you want love, plant love. If you want trust, plant trust. If you want connection, plant time, care, and effort. Too often, people sit back and wait. They think someone will see them, understand them, and offer them friendship. But most people are not looking for someone to fix. They are looking for someone to walk beside. That means you have to grow yourself. You have to become whole on your own, not perfect, but whole. That means knowing who you are, working on your flaws, being humble, and learning how to give without always expecting something in return. When you become a better version of yourself, people notice. Not because you're showing off, but because you bring peace, joy, and strength with you. People are drawn to that. They don't want drama. They don't want someone who always complains or blames. They want someone who speaks life into them, who helps them grow. And when you become that person, you won't have to chase friends. The right ones will come. Also, think about how many friendships break because one person was always taking and the other was always giving. Healthy relationships require balance. If you only take, people will grow tired. If you only give without boundaries, you will feel empty. So becoming someone worth connecting with also means learning how to build healthy, balanced connections. Know your worth. Set limits when needed, but also be available when others truly need you. Learn to listen more than you speak. Learn to forgive, but don't let people walk over you. That's the kind of strength that invites real friendships. Many people think that being popular means having many friends, but popularity is not the same as friendship. You can have many people around you and still feel lonely. True friendship goes deeper. It's about connection, understanding, and shared values. And those things come when you live a life of meaning and truth. When your life has purpose, it shows in how you treat others. It shows in your choices, your words, and your actions. And people want to be around others who know where they're going. It's also important to understand that you will not connect with everyone, and that's okay. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone is meant to walk your journey. But the ones who are meant for you, they will come. And they will stay, not because you were perfect, but because you were real. That's why becoming a person of depth and character is more important than chasing friendships. When you focus on becoming, friendships find you. Many of the deepest friendships begin in unexpected places, a shared task, a kind word, a helping hand. But behind each one, there was a person who showed something real. Maybe it was honesty. Maybe it was compassion. Maybe it was courage. Whatever it was something that made the other person stop and say, "This is someone I can trust." That's how connections begin, not with perfect people, but with real people who care. If you want more friends, don't look for people. Look within yourself. Ask what kind of friend you would be if someone needed you today. Ask how you react when others succeed. Do you celebrate with them or feel jealous? Ask how you respond when someone opens up to you. Do you judge or listen? These small things shape who we are, and who we are is what attracts others or pushes them away. In the end, friendship is not about numbers. It's not about always being included or always having someone to talk to. It's about quality. One real friend is better than 100 fake ones. And that one real friend usually finds their way into your life when you become real with yourself first. So if your life feels quiet right now, if you feel like no one truly sees you, don't rush out looking for people to fill the space. Take time to build yourself. Take time to heal, to grow, to learn. Become someone who can offer peace, kindness, and truth to others. Because when you become that kind of person, the right kind of people will find you and stay. People are drawn to vision, not desperation. Every human being wants connection. We all want others to support us, help us, believe in us. That desire is natural. But the way we try to get support often decides whether people are drawn to us or pushed away. Many times, people try to get attention or love by showing their pain, their struggle, or their loneliness. They think that if they cry loud enough, complain long enough, or show how bad their situation is, someone will come and rescue them, but sadly, this doesn't always work. People are not naturally drawn to desperation. Desperation can feel heavy, confusing, or even draining. When someone is always talking about their problems, always asking for help, always depending on others to lift them, it becomes difficult to stay close. Not because people don't care, but because desperation alone doesn't give them anything to connect with. It makes them feel needed, but not inspired. But vision now, that's different. When someone has vision, they may still have problems, they may still feel pain, but they carry something powerful inside them. They have a direction. They know where they're going, even if they're not there yet. They speak with hope, with purpose. Their energy says, "I'm not giving up." That kind of person makes others stop and listen. That kind of person makes others say, "I want to be part of what this person is doing." People want to follow someone who has vision. Someone who believes in a better future. Someone who works hard even when things are hard. Someone who sees something others can't yet see. That's what draws people close. It's not the crying. It's not the complaining. It's the courage to stand up, even when life is tough, and still keep moving. This doesn't mean we can't talk about our pain. It's okay to be honest about what you're going through. It's okay to share your struggles. But if all you ever share is how hard things are without showing where you're going, people won't know how to help. They won't feel connected to a bigger picture. You have to give them something to believe in, not just something to feel sorry for. Imagine two people. One says, "I don't have a job, life is unfair, nobody helps me, everything is going wrong." That's desperation. Now imagine another person in the same situation saying, "I'm going through a tough time. I lost my job, but I'm learning new skills. I believe something better is ahead. I know I can rebuild." That's vision. Same problem, different mindset, and most people will be more willing to help and support the second person, not because their situation is easier, but because they are showing strength. They are showing movement. They are not sitting in the dark, they are looking for light. When you carry a clear picture of where you want to go, people can see it. They can feel your passion. They can tell that you're serious about your future. And they begin to trust you. They may not understand your whole plan, but they see your effort. They respect your focus, and that pulls them closer. Desperation, on the other hand, often brings confusion. It makes people unsure of what you need, what you want, or where you're going. It's hard to walk beside someone who doesn't know their own path. It's hard to build something with someone who only talks about what's broken. Vision gives direction. It says, "This is where I'm going, will you join me?" And that clear sense of direction is what builds strong relationships, strong teams, and strong communities. Think about the leaders we admire in business, in life, in faith. Most of them started with very little. Some were poor, some were rejected, some were hurt deeply. But what set them apart was not their situation. It was their vision. They believed they were made for more. They believed their life had meaning, and that belief shaped their actions. They didn't just complain. They planned, they built, they inspired, and that's the difference. People may help you once because they feel sorry for you, but they will walk with you for a long time if they feel inspired by you. Because at the end of the day, we are all looking for something meaningful. We want to be part of something bigger than ourselves. When someone shows us a picture of a better future, and they're willing to work for it, we want to support that. We want to be part of it. So if you feel alone, if you feel like no one is helping you, maybe it's time to stop asking, "Why doesn't anyone care?" and start asking, "What vision am I showing?" Are you showing strength or just struggle? Are you talking about where you want to go, or only about where you've been hurt? Are you walking forward, or sitting still hoping someone will carry you? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to believe in something better and be willing to move toward it. That belief is powerful. It speaks louder than words. It shows up in how you talk, how you act, and how you treat others. It turns pain into fuel. It turns failure into lessons. It turns brokenness into growth. And when people see that in you, they will want to support you. Not out of pity, but out of respect. Not because you begged, but because you led. That's the power of vision. So even when life gets hard, don't lose your vision. Even when no one is clapping, keep walking. Even when the road is empty, keep believing, because people are watching. And when they see that fire in you, when they see that you're still standing, still dreaming, still moving, they'll want to walk with you. They'll want to be part of your story, not because you were desperate, but because you had vision. A man without friends must examine his character, not just his circumstances. It's easy to look at our situation and think that something outside of us is the reason we feel alone. Maybe you moved to a new city, changed your job, or people you used to know have gone their own way. All those things can make life lonely. But if the loneliness stays no matter where you go or who you meet, it may not be the world around you that needs to change. It may be time to look within. When a person has no friends, the first thought is often, "No one likes me." The next thought might be, "People are fake," or "They don't understand me." These ideas protect us from pain. They make us feel like we're not the problem, but sometimes we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to ask, what kind of person am I? Would I want to be friends with someone like me? That question can be hard to face, but it opens the door to real growth. Friendship is not something that falls out of the sky. It is built. It grows when two people trust each other, care for each other, and treat each other well. That kind of bond only happens when both people show good character. If you are quick to anger, slow to forgive, or only think about yourself, people may step back. If you always want others to listen but never listen in return, it becomes one-sided. If you lie, talk badly about others, or break promises, people won't feel safe. And safety is one of the most important parts of any relationship. Many people walk around feeling lonely, hoping someone will reach out to them, be kind to them, or understand them. But those same people may not be showing kindness themselves. They may not be trustworthy or respectful. They may speak harshly or complain all the time. The truth is, we often don't see our own flaws. We think we're being real, but we're actually being rude. We think we're being honest, but we're hurting others with our words. We say we're just being ourselves. But we forget that friendship is not only about being yourself, it's about becoming better for others too. Being alone can be painful, but that pain can be useful if we use it to grow. Instead of blaming people for leaving, ask why they didn't stay. Instead of saying, "Nobody wants to be my friend," ask, "What am I doing that might be pushing people away?" Maybe you talk too much and never listen. Maybe you make fun of others or don't know how to keep a secret. Maybe you expect too much and give too little. These are not things to feel ashamed about, they're things to work on. Everyone has weaknesses. The strong ones are those who face them and change. Friendships don't grow in shallow soil. They need deep roots. They need people who are patient, kind, honest, and loyal. If you want good friends, you must be a good friend first. You must show the kind of heart that others feel safe around. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You don't need to be funny or smart or rich. But you do need to be real, gentle, and trustworthy. You need to be someone who lifts others, not brings them down. If you find yourself without friends, ask yourself if people feel better or worse after spending time with you. Do they feel heard or ignored? Do they feel respected or judged? Do they feel encouraged or drained? These are the kinds of questions that help us see who we really are in relationships. And the answers may hurt at first, but they also guide us toward change. It's also important to remember that some people are not meant to be your friends no matter how kind you are. Some people walk away because they're on a different path. Some leave because they are not ready for real friendship. That's okay. You can't control who stays and who goes, but you can control who you become. If you become a person of good character, then the people who are right for you will find their way to you, and when they do, the friendship will be stronger, deeper, and lasting. You must also ask yourself if you truly make space for others in your life. Do you reach out? Do you show interest in other people's lives? Or are you always waiting for others to come to you first? Friendship is a two-way street. It needs both people to give and receive. Sometimes loneliness doesn't come from rejection, it comes from isolation. You may have built walls instead of bridges. You may have pushed people away without knowing it. Maybe you feared being hurt, so you never opened up, but friendship requires risk. You must let people in even if it scares you. Working on your character doesn't mean changing your whole personality. It means growing in the areas that matter most: your honesty, your kindness, your patience, your ability to forgive. These are the things that draw people close. These are the things that make others feel seen and safe. Even if you feel like you've messed up in the past, it's never too late to change. You can start today. You can decide to listen more. You can decide to speak gently. You can decide to stop gossiping, stop judging, stop pretending. You can decide to love people as they are, while still being strong in your values. You can build character one choice at a time. People may not always say it, but they notice your character. They notice when you are dependable. They notice when you say thank you, when you keep your word, when you help without being asked. These small acts of character speak louder than anything else. Over time, they build trust, and trust is the door to true friendship. So, if you feel alone today, don't just look around, look within. Ask not just what's happening in your life, but who you are becoming in your life. The man with no friends is not always a victim of bad luck or unfair treatment. Sometimes he is simply a man who has not yet become the kind of person others feel safe to walk with. You can change that. You can grow. And as you do, you will see something beautiful happen. People will begin to notice. They will start to open up. They will stay, not because of your charm or success, but because of your heart. A strong, kind, humble heart is never alone for long. There's a kind of loneliness that is quiet but heavy. It doesn't always come from losing people. Sometimes it comes from losing purpose. When you don't know why you're waking up in the morning, when you don't feel useful, when your days feel empty, that's when isolation starts to grow inside you. You may still be surrounded by people, but deep down you feel distant. You start to feel invisible, forgotten, or even lost, and that feeling doesn't come just from being alone. It comes from not having something meaningful to live for. Purpose gives us direction. It gives us energy. It helps us move forward. When we know our purpose, we feel connected to life, to people, and to the future. We wake up with something to aim for. We feel needed. We feel valuable, but when purpose fades away, whether through failure, loss, or lack of clarity, we begin to feel like we're drifting. One day becomes just like the next. We start to pull away from others. Not because we don't care, but because we don't feel like we matter anymore. Some people lose their purpose after retirement. They worked their whole lives and found meaning in their job, but once it's gone, they don't know what to do with their time. Others lose purpose after heartbreak. The person they lived for is no longer in their life, and now everything feels empty. Some lose purpose after failure. A dream died, a plan fell apart, and they no longer believe they have something to offer. That's when isolation sneaks in, not always suddenly, but little by little. You stop talking, you stop sharing, you stop showing up, and before you know it, you feel alone, even in a crowd. But here's something important. Purpose is not something that only belongs to the lucky or the successful. Every person has a purpose. It may not always look big. It may not involve fame, wealth, or a big stage, but it's real. Purpose can be found in small things like helping someone, building something, caring for your family, or learning something new. It's not about being the best. It's about doing what you were made to do in whatever season you're in. When you stop moving toward your purpose, your world becomes smaller. You stop growing. You stop dreaming. That's when your thoughts start to turn inward, and not in a healthy way. You begin to overthink. You start comparing yourself to others. You focus on what you don't have, where you went wrong, or how far behind you are. This kind of thinking feeds isolation. It makes you pull away from life. You start to believe that no one understands, that no one needs you, that nothing will change. But that's not true. The problem isn't that you're too far gone. The problem is that you've forgotten who you are and what you're here to do. Even if everything in your life has changed, your purpose can still be renewed. You may not be able to go back, but you can still go forward. Finding your purpose again doesn't always require a big sign or a clear voice. Sometimes it starts with a small decision, like helping a neighbor, like learning a skill, like taking care of your body. Like spending time with someone who matters. These small acts may seem unimportant at first, but they remind you that you're alive and that your life can still make a difference. As you take those steps, purpose begins to return. You start to feel useful again, needed, alive, and when that happens, isolation begins to fade. Because purpose always connects you not just to a goal, but to people. When you know your purpose, you don't want to hide anymore. You want to share, to grow, to contribute. You start reaching out again. You begin to notice the world around you. You become part of something bigger than yourself. That connection brings life. That's what keeps the heart from growing cold. Purpose also gives you strength. Life can be hard. People leave, pain comes, plans fail. But when you have purpose, you can stand through the storms. You may cry, you may fall, but you get back up. Because you're not just living for comfort or pleasure, you're living for something deeper. That depth gives you stability. and people are drawn to that. They are drawn to those who know why they're here, even if they're still figuring it out. People want to walk beside someone who walks with meaning. If you're feeling isolated today, don't just ask, "Who left me?" or "Why doesn't anyone talk to me?" Ask, "What am I living for right now?" Because it could be that your relationships are struggling not because others don't care, but because you've disconnected from your purpose. And when you're disconnected from purpose, it's hard to truly connect with people. You don't need to have your whole life figured out. You just need to take the next step towards something meaningful. Look at what's in front of you. What can you do today that adds value to someone else, to your own growth, to your future? What can you build? Who can you help? What can you learn? That's how purpose grows again. And as it grows, so does connection, hope, and joy. Remember, isolation is not just being without people, it's being without direction. The good news is, direction can be found again. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You still have something to give. You still have a reason to get up in the morning. And the world needs what you carry, even if you don't fully see it yet. So don't give up. Don't sink into silence. Start small, start slow, but start. Let your heart remember what it feels like to live with meaning, and you will find that as your purpose comes back, the loneliness will begin to fade. Many people believe that strong relationships just happen. They think if they meet the right person, everything will fall into place. They believe that love, friendship, or family bonds are supposed to feel easy and natural all the time. But that is not how real relationships work. Real relationships are built, not stumbled upon. They don't come fully formed. They grow over time. They are shaped by choices, actions, and effort. When you see people who have strong friendships, loving marriages, or close families, you are seeing something that was built sometimes over years. You are seeing people who have listened to each other, forgiven each other, encouraged each other, and stayed loyal through hard times. You are not seeing something perfect. You are seeing something strong because it was tested and worked on. Just like a house takes time to build and care to maintain, a relationship needs patience, honesty, and work. In the beginning, every relationship feels easy. Everything is new. You want to talk for hours. You laugh at each other's jokes. You overlook flaws because you're excited. But after some time, challenges start to appear. You may not always agree. You may get hurt. You may feel disappointed. This is when the real work begins. Many people give up at this point because they think, maybe this wasn't meant to be. But relationships are not about being meant to be. They are about choosing to stay, to grow, and to try again. Building a relationship means choosing to be there even when it's not easy. It means talking when you'd rather stay silent. It means saying sorry when you were wrong and forgiving when the other person was. It means learning how to really listen without trying to win or be right. It means showing kindness even when you are tired or upset. These are the tools that build strong connections. Without them, relationships stay shallow or fall apart. No one becomes close by accident. You can meet someone by chance, but closeness only grows when you take time to know them, understand them, and support them. You must show up. You must be consistent. You must keep your promises. You must make space in your life for that person. You must share your thoughts and open your heart. If you never invest in someone, the connection will remain weak. It's like planting a seed and never watering it. You can't expect it to grow. Sometimes we wait for the perfect relationship. We think when I find the right person, then I'll be a good friend, a good partner, or a good family member. But it doesn't work that way. You don't wait to become the right person, you work on becoming that person now. If you want better relationships, you must build them. You must show love, respect, and care now. You must practice patience and humility now. That is how strong bonds are made, through small choices repeated every day. Building a relationship also means giving others grace. No one is perfect. People will disappoint you. They will say the wrong thing. They will fail at times. But if you expect perfection, you will always be disappointed. A strong relationship is not made by finding someone perfect, but by learning to love someone who is imperfect just like you. It's about helping each other grow, not judging each other for falling short. There are times when relationships are one-sided. Maybe you are giving more than you are getting. Maybe the other person is not trying. In those cases, it's okay to step back. Building a relationship takes two people. One person can't build it alone. Both people must care. Both must be willing to grow. You should never chase someone who has no interest in walking with you. But you should always be the kind of person who builds, not breaks. You build relationships when you remember the little things, a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, a simple message to check in. These small acts may not seem important, but they create trust. They show that you care. Over time, these little things become the foundation of something unshakable. The strongest relationships are not built on big moments. They are built on many small, quiet acts of love and kindness. You also build relationships by being present. Not just physically, but emotionally. Put away your phone, look someone in the eye, really hear what they're saying, be interested in their life, their feelings, their dreams. Give them your time, not just your words. People remember how you made them feel. If you make them feel seen, heard, and valued, they will want to stay close. There will be times when relationships go through storms, life gets busy, mistakes are made, misunderstandings happen. That doesn't mean the relationship is over. It means there's more work to do, and if it's worth it, you will do that work. You will sit down and talk. You will apologize. You will ask for forgiveness. You will forgive. You will start again. That is how relationships are built, not through perfection, but through persistence. Every strong relationship you admire took time and effort. Don't believe the lie that it just happened. Behind every deep friendship, every lasting marriage, every close family, are two or more people who chose to build. They chose to stay when it was hard. They chose to grow when it was uncomfortable. They chose to love when it wasn't easy. You can choose that too. If you feel distant from someone you care about, don't wait for them to fix it. Take the first step. Reach out. Say what needs to be said. Do what needs to be done. If the relationship matters, show it. Building always takes effort, but the reward is worth it. Connection, trust, peace, and love. Relationships are not about luck. They are about choice. They are about showing up again and again. They are about building something that lasts one day at a time. So don't sit back and wait. Don't expect closeness without effort. Choose to build. Choose to care. Choose to be the one who waters the seed. Because relationships are not stumbled upon, they are built, brick by brick, heart by heart, choice by choice. So today, if you want better relationships in your life, don't wait, build. Start where you are. Use what you have. Speak with honesty. Show up with kindness. Be patient. Be intentional. Be willing to grow. Because in the end, strong relationships aren't found, they're formed. They're the result of time, trust, and choosing to love, even when it's not easy. Brick by brick, moment by moment, you build something that lasts. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize you didn't just build a connection, you built a life full of meaning, memories, and people who truly matter. Thank you.